recorded. Fine. Okay, I'm repeating. The C programming language is a structured and disciplined approach to the program design, and C is considered as a structured programming language, and it supports the functions which enables easy maintainability of the code by breaking a large file into a smaller modules. The way I gave an example of making a computer with assembled parts, right, where each assembled part will be of your interest. You can get it and you can assemble and you can reuse it. That's the meaning of it. So it's something like if I'm buying two computers and one of the computer doesn't have a CD drive and other computer has a CD drive, because the CD drive function is separate, it is not part of the whole system. Whenever you wanted to use that CD drive option to the other computer which does not have, you can remove from the first one and you can keep it in the second one. So that's called maintainability. You're trying to maintain a single CD drive between the two computers. So when there is no provision of detaching the CD drive from one computer and can be attached to other computer, it is not possible to reuse actually. So it's something like your pen drive is also reusable. You take data from one computer and copy in some other computer. So something like that. Okay. So C program is going to support functions that enables easy maintainability of the code by breaking a large file into a smaller modules. So each smaller module can be useful for some other programmers in their application. That is the meaning of it. Then comes third point, which is the comments in the C provides easy readability. The meaning of comments is, it is something like when you yesterday also I took an example of when you buy any electronic product, you get a manual, right? So in that manual, generally they mention the set of operations, right, how to perform each individual action. Even you wanted to attach some assembly of mechanical parts and all, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, everything will be written separately. Okay. So step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, it is like your readability. It indicates that without thinking too much. Okay, step 1 indicates I need to perform the task 1 first. Step 2 indicates then next which one I supposed to indicate. Actually, actual job is what to perform, but indications are 1, 2, 3, and 4. So these numbers are something like the comments which will help you to understand what I'm supposed to do next after this. No, next step is what I'm supposed to do. So these numbers are very important. So similarly, based on the numbers you understand something out of your process. Similarly in C programming also, when you write some logic and where you only understand because you are thinking something, and where other people will not understand. So whatever your idea you are trying to keep in the algorithm, you can write in a separate lines which cannot be part of the program, but still people can understand, okay, this part of particular program is written for certain no algorithm, certain reasons and all. So whatever the explanation you wanted to write as a part of the program, that has to be kept into some kind of form which should not be what is it, disturbs your original program. So any line which will not disturb our original program must be put into some kind of symbols. We call it as a comments. So comments is nothing but it will help us to understand the program written by somebody else. That is the meaning of it. So I think you must also remember this particular point. And any, even though it might be a very simple program, it must have at least one or two comments. Without a comment, we should not start writing the program. It's a blind no rule. Everybody should remember. Comments is such an important topic, or I should not say topic. It is like which will help us. If you are writing a program and you are giving to somebody, they must be able to understand. So without comments, it is not possible. So that is the reason comments is very important. So C is a powerful language. It's only for the sake of knowledge. You can remember this point. And C programs built from so many things. I think when I said no, when you start learning your English language, right? You start first learning about alphabets. Then you start making words. Then you try to remember the vocabulary. Then you try to make sentences by knowing the grammar. So this is a general procedure of understanding the language. Similar to that, in the C programming language also, we have similar to alphabets, we call it the variables. So variable and the type declaration. So data type, generally we call variable data types. So one thing you must remember, it is something like alphabets for any language. For C programming language, the alphabets are variables. So you must be able to understand what is a variable. Then something called functions, which is very important, right? I said just now to break a large program into a smaller sections, the best way of doing that is the provision called functions. Then comes statements. I think statements is something like so maybe it will be some kind of arithmetic statements, and it could be a logical statements, it could be comparative statements. So like that, some kind of expressions we are going to use in our program, we call them as statements. Anything you perform as a process of rectangle box. Yesterday I mentioned in flowcharts, rectangle boxes are going to indicate whether you are performing addition or whether you're performing multiplication, and whatever it is, generally those are comes under the statements basically. Then followed by expressions. Okay, expression is basically keeping some arithmetic operators along with the variables. Okay, statements could be without without variables, without in fact operators. But when I say expression, it has to be a combination of operators as well as the variables. So what I have done yesterday, it comes under expression, but statement is slightly different. I will tell you. Add, yesterday I said no, add b and c. So b plus c might be a statement, but add, the name what I'm trying to give is called something like they're performing addition of two numbers. So that is a statement. So statement is like, it could be a part, it could be with variables, it could be with operators, it could be without both of them, something like that. But expression means it has to be with variables as well as operators. So this is what about C and all. You must be able to understand. It is a structured programming language, one important, and it is going to have some kind of standard things which depends on a C program. Is something like variables, functions, statements, and expressions. So let me go to the next slide. Now here the C programming language is a combination of so many things, right? Out of which already just now I mentioned variables, functions, operators, expressions. I think previous slide was told. And again, if somebody wanted to say claim that they know the C programming language, they must know how to draw the flow chart. I think that is what is given in the bottom, flow control. And statements also I just now mentioned. It is a made up of statements, variables, operators, functions, and expressions. Finally, a compiler. I think yesterday we have discussed. Until unless we have a supporting software which can convert your source file into an executable file, there's no meaning of learning a C programming language. That is the reason it is given compiler. So every program, once you write, you wanted to verify is it correct or not. To verify that, I need an output. Generally we use a monitor to see the results. So there is an output. So output is important, compiler is important. The functions will give an advantage of C programming. Operators will help us to perform some kind of mathematical evaluations, even expressions and statements for the readability and all. Then flow chart, where flow control means you must write all the statements and expressions in a systematic manner so that you can get the results. Yesterday I mentioned a plus b into c plus d. You said add ab, then add cd, then multiply result 1, result 2. So first two can be interchanged, but third one cannot be make into first two. So it has to be always at the last one. That's called order. That is called flow control. Add AB, add CD, and then multiply result 1, result 2. This is a flow basically. So that is called flow control. So one must know, to understand the C programming language, what do you mean by variable, what do you mean by a flow control, what do you mean by statements, what do you mean by expressions, operators, functions, C compiler, and output. So until unless you are aware of all these things, you cannot claim that you have learned a C programming language. So everybody must be able to talk about each and everything. When I ask variables, you must be able to talk at least 5 to 10 minutes. When somebody asks what is the flow control, you must be able to talk at least 5 minutes. So any kind of dependency, what you can see here, C programming language is a base, or it is basically stands on so many things, and all those things are mentioned as separate entities there. C compiler, functions, operators, expression, statement, flow control, variable. So with this, I'll go to the next slide. Now first I'm talking about what exactly the meaning of structure of a C programs. I said it is a structure oriented programming language. So structure of a C programming is nothing but, before going and reading the structure of C programming, we need to have the basic knowledge of the following. So before you understand what do you mean by structure oriented programming language, let us understand some of the points here. The point number one is capital C, or C, basically C programming language is a character set. Means everything what you write in the C programming language is a character. The character means, don't think only character means alphabets A to Z. Even 0 to 9 also alphabets, not alphabets, it's a character. even all special symbols like star and percentile and what all dollar, everything is like a characters only. We call everything what you see on the keyboard is a character set. Then you must understand keywords. So the meaning of keywords I will tell you later, but to understand in a simple way, keywords is nothing but you must remember certain vocabulary things in the C programming language, which are meant for certain no thing, certain purpose. So you cannot just like that use those words for any other purpose. That's the meaning of the keywords. So that is a keywords you must remember. Then the general structure of a C program that we are going to see. Then how to perform the end statement, right? With means every line what you write in the C program must be terminated by some symbol. So that is called how to end a statement. I'm going to talk about that. Then free format language. So free format language means generally .c. I think I should not say free format. There will be some format oriented functions are available, but I'll let you know what do you mean by free format language. Then comes you need to understand what do you mean by header file, what do you mean by library function. Okay. So this is one thing. So let me start with C character set. So C does not use every character set and key found on modern computers. The only characters that C language uses for its programs are as follows. So I said just now, no, what all you see on the keyboard is basically a character, but out of that, so only certain things C is going to use, and those are capital A to capital Z, that are all the alphabets, and small a to small z are the alphabets 0 to 9, and there are certain special characters like hash, percentile, ampersand, which is generally called ampersand, then exclamation, then underscore, then flower brackets, then square brackets, then parentheses, then dollars, then again double and, then pipe, then space, then dot, comma, dot again, so semicolon, then colon, then dollar symbol within the quotes and double quote, single quote, plus, minus, oblique. So these are all possible things which you are going to use in the C programming language. So other than this, you don't use anything else. So even though you have F1, F2, F3, all these things we don't use in our C programming language. So what all you see on this particular slide are going to be used in our C programming language. So that is more important. So we call it as a C characters set. Then comes keywords. I just mentioned no, keywords are the words that have a special meaning to the C compiler. So I tell you the meaning is like suppose you wanted to name a newly born child, no, any of the home, right? Maybe your family members or maybe your relatives or your friends, and you are given a chance to give a name. Generally, what is the procedure you follow? Can anybody tell nowadays? To give a name to a newly born child, generally what is the procedure everybody is following nowadays? Can anybody tell? Tell me. I think this is like you might have come across this kind of situation where somebody is asking you, tell me a good name so that I can keep for a pet, or it could be for any family members. What is the procedure generally happen? Respond. Yes, I'm asking you only. I hope everybody is listening to me, right?
Google search.
Sorry, Google search. Very good. I agree. Anything else? So in the Google search, what do you search?
Baby
Generally
names.
starts with an alphabet, right? Which alphabet you wanted to search names? Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
Say yes or no.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you keep your can you keep no name to any member of the family, like a window or a door or AC or fan kind of thing? Can you give those names?
No, sir.
No,
Tell me.
no.
No,
You
sir.
cannot give, no? Yes or not?
No, sir.
Yeah. The reason is, what is the reason behind not putting the names like a door or a window or air conditioner or a washing machine to
They are
the
already
family member?
reserved, sir.
Yeah, they are already reserved. They have some meaning. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
They meant for something. That's called keywords. When I say door, everybody has a meaning. Door is nothing but which is used for entry and exit purpose. So it's a fixed meaning for it. Similarly, there are keywords in the C programming which has a special meaning to the C compiler. So when you run this conversion from source file to executable file, you must remember certain keywords which are only known to the compiler. Any other than these keywords, if you write, compiler will simply throw an error because I don't know this. Is it okay? Everybody understood the keywords means?
Yes.
Keywords are the words that have a special
Yes,
meaning
sir.
to the C compiler, not to you or not to any other thing. Only the C compiler. Yesterday I mentioned what do you mean by compiler, which will convert your high level language to low level language. Is it clear? Respond at
Yes,
least
sir.
yes or no.
Yes,
I
sir.
understand it is an
Yes,
afternoon,
sir.
right? Okay, fine. So the meaning cannot be changed at any instance. Throughout your life, you cannot change the meaning of a door. Throughout your life, you cannot change meaning of a window. You cannot change meaning of a reconditioner. So that is the meaning of the keyword actually. So their meaning cannot be changed at any instance. So serve as a basic building blocks for the program statements, which is the keywords. So all keywords are written only in which type? Lowercase or uppercase? What is that? All keywords are written no bold
Lowercase.
under yeah
Lowercase.
yeah this is more important when it is given underline and also bold format. So it is like the point you must remember no most. That's the meaning of it. So all the keywords are written only in the lowercase format. That is more important. Then basic structure of a C program. I said structure oriented program means every C program you are going to write, it should follow certain structure. So coming to the structure, first one should be header files. The second should be the entry point of the program. Third should be the indicates a starting of the program. Then body of the statements. Then end of the program. It is not given here, but generally you can remember that way. So there is an header file first it has to take, then entry point of the program it has to come, then there should be some indication for starting of a program. Similarly, there should be an indication for the end of the program and also followed by the statement. So this is like a standard way of writing any C program. So we call it as a basic structure of a C program. Means maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow onwards, if at all I'm going to write a simple C program, I must not deviate from this particular fashion. If I'm going to deviate, if I'm first writing the entry point of the program, then followed by header files, then followed by indicating the starting of a program, it won't work. So it is something like it's very important. Without switching on your ignition of your car or your bike, can you ride a bike or car?
No, sir.
Yeah,
No.
first
No, sir.
must be you have to switch on, right? Ignition, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
That is called structure actually.
Yes,
For
sir.
everything there is structured kind of thing. Without applying gear, change of the gear, can you apply accelerator to move a vehicle, right? Applying acceleration is not a problem, but there is no use. You will be at one place, right? To move further or forward without applying the brakes, can you apply acceleration? Tell me. Whether your bike or car, without changing the gear, can you apply the accelerator or not? You tell me. You cannot
No.
apply, right? First gear has to be changed, then only acceleration has a meaningful thing, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Without acceleration, can you apply a brakes? You can apply, but there is no use, correct or not?
Yes,
The
sir.
purpose
Yes,
of the
sir.
brake is when
Yes, sir.
vehicle is moving, you wanted to stop it, then only you apply the brakes. So nobody will apply a brake while standing, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is a process actually. Without our knowledge,
sir.
we have done many things in a structured way. So that is the meaning of a structured programming language. You must remember there's a header file, there's an entry point of the program, there is indicates starting of the program. Only thing is naming conventions are different. So you must follow this notation. So it is something like when you learn something new, you always remember certain things, right? This is first, this is second. Similar to that, you also feel that the C programming is also something like that, and you try to remember what to do first, what to do next. Then it looks simple. The subject is not at all difficult. Only thing is you need to relate the things of your day-to-day life. Then it becomes very simple and easy to understand also. Okay. So this is called basic structure of a C program. Then we are trying to understand what exactly the first one and what next. And yesterday already I mentioned header files, right? Yesterday I told there were 6 lines in the program, and after hash include the stdio.h was written, I said the content of that header file was put in place of that particular line, so it becomes 106 lines. So that's the meaning of a header file. So here again the same thing is repeated, but yesterday I was discussing that point for the preprocessor functionality, but today it is full-fledged what exactly the meaning of the header files and all. So now you can read the files that are specified in the include section is called the header file. I think yesterday I did that hash include stdio.h. Even in the previous slide also it is written hash include. So include section means between that greater than and less than symbol. I think less than and greater than symbol. I think there are two header files are mentioned here, stdio.h and console.io.h. It is a full form, standard input output and console IO input. So these are shorter form or names of the header files, stdio.h and con.io.h. Whatever you write between the less than and greater than symbol, we call include section. Okay, that's the meaning of it. So the files that are specified in the include sections is called the header file. So these are pre-compiled files that has some functions defined in them. What do you mean by pre-compiled? They're part of library. User need not to really compile again. So simply they are means there is no error in that. In fact, that way I can tell you. So simply the compiler need not to really check is there any error in those lines or not. It's pre-compiled one. So these are the pre-compiled files that has some functions defined in them, and we can call those functions in our program by supplying parameters. I think this is macro, which you may not understand at this point of time, but you try to remember this point. We can call those functions in our program by supplying parameters. Then comes header file is given an extension with a .h. I think we have seen in the previous some of the structured the PPT. Now coming to the last point, the C source file is given an extension of .c. I think yesterday I mentioned every source file of the C program must be extended with a .c. You should never forget, and C should be small, not capital. And whereas .h is a part of your software package only, whether it's a Turbo C, whether it's a GNU compiler, or yesterday I mentioned one of the software which I just wanted to mention, it was DEV C++, Dev C++ generally we call it. Is freely downloadable. I think before starting the semester, I have just forwarded the link. Is it comfortable for you to start the lab in the online? I think exactly 50% said yes and 50% said no. So that is the reason it was not planned in the syllabus or in your timetable. But still, the 50% students who are really have the what is the facility of accessing to the laptop or a desktop, today itself you try to search software called DEV C++, whatever type of Windows operating system you have and whatever the number of bits operating system corresponding to that you search. So DEV C++, Dev C++ generally we call that exe file you can download from the Google and you can simply install, so that it will help you when I explain a class, and also I will parallelly execute some of the programs in that particular IDE, which is Dev C++. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the 50 students, right? Yesterday, I think whoever said it is okay for them to have a lab online. I think for them I'm telling. Remaining students also, if you have somewhere access to your friends or neighbors or relatives, you can also download and make use of that particular Dev C++ software. Then comes main function. So this is an entry point of the program. When a file is executed, the start point is the main function. So without main word, I think one of the keyword it is actually, without main, my program cannot start executed. Operating system will not understand C program without main. So main is such a powerful word in our C program, which will give information to the operating system where my C programming is going to start. So that is such an important function. That is we call the main function. Means at least one function must be there for every C program. Name of that function will be main. So anything which you write between opening and closing curly brackets, before that you write some name with a parenthesis, and that name with parenthesis is considered as a function. So every C program must have at least one function that is called main function. You can have more than one, but at least one. This is called main. From the main function, the flow starts as per the programmer's choice. There may or may not be the other function written by the user in the program. There is an optional. Main function is compulsory for any C program. I hope is it clear, or anything needs to be explained. I think nothing to explain in this slide, but still I wanted to hear from you. Is it okay, all these points, or you want me to explain anything more than what is written there? Tell me. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
fine.
sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah, if any doubt, I said no, you just try to ask. Because some of you are already, I think only 3 or 4 members said they went for C programming class. Let me go to the next slide. So now running the C program is, yesterday I said you should first use editor software, which will help us to type a program. Then you need to save with a .c extension. Then we need to compile the program. I think this particular slide was yesterday's class, where creating a source file and running the program. Okay, so all these things are given in a separate format. So type a program, save with .c extension, then compile the program, generate exe file. Then exe file is going to be run in different compiler. We have a different option for compiling and running. Only thing I said, dev C++ has different way of compilation. Turbo C has a different way of compilation. GNU compiler will have a different ways of compilation and running. Those things, it all depends on which software we are going to use. But one thing is important: in different compilers, we have a different option for compiling and running. That you must remember. So C language tokens. Token means these are the important things you must understand before you start writing the first C program. So tokens means the smallest individual units in C program are known as the tokens. In a C source program, the basic elements recognized by the compiler is the token. The token is a source program text that the compiler does not break down into a component elements. C has 6 different types of tokens. Keywords. So examples are given there: float, int, and while. So you cannot break them actually. So it's a minimum 5 letters float, minimum 3 letters for integer, minimum 5 letters for the while. So you cannot simply keep some space there. So that is called, every keyword is without space. That you must remember. That's called token. Coming to the identifiers, entry point is an identifier. So it is a main. Then some kind of a variables. I think some amount is given there. So it's a variable or a function name is considered as an identifiers. Then you might use some kind of numbers in the program. We call them as a constants. Directly we might use some numbers in the program. We call it as a constant. And we also use some kind of text without no more than one letter. We call it as a strings. Then we have some special symbols, which opening, closing brackets, square brackets, parentheses, and all. Then also we have an operators, plus, minus, and star. And these are the 6 different tokens which generally C programming is going to use. So C programs are written using these tokens, and the general syntax is separate for each of them, that we are going to understand in the syntax format. But you must remember, all the tokens are using following certain kind of syntax. Syntax is all about grammar actually. The way you try to learn grammar and to convey somebody in some kind of language. So grammar is like, if any error is there in the grammar, people may not understand it. So that is the meaning of it. So syntax is such an important word in the C programming language. All the tokens must follow certain kind of rules, and those rules we will see once we start writing the programs. So these are the 32 keywords actually. So everybody must remember there are 32 keywords were defined for the C programming language, and you have no other choice. You have to remember, in the examination you might get write all the 32 keywords of the C program. So you must remember it. So even though you can remember later on, but just try to split into some groups, and each group you can remember how many they have. So by which you can at least remember as many as keywords are possible. So some of the keywords already we have said. Main, I think main is there anywhere. I think main is not there in this. So main is only identifier, but these are keywords. So keywords is auto, then break, case, characters, constant, continue, default, do, double, else, enum, eta. Extern actually, it is not etern, it is an extern. Look at this, X is missing there. Float, for, go to, if, register, return, short, signed, size of, static, struct, int, switch, type def, union, unsigned, then void, then volatile, then while, and long. So these are the keywords of the C programs. 32 keywords. You should never forget all these things, except the spelling mistake. Extern, after the enum it is extern, alphabetically it is written here, but you must remember. In terms of alphabets also you can remember, each alphabet you can make a groups. So I think A has only one, B has only one, C has 4, D has 3, E has 3, F has 2, G is 1, I is 1, R is 2, S is 5, I is 1. I think S should be 6 actually. After struct it should be switch. I don't know why int, if and int you can put together. Then T is 1, union is U 2, V is 2, then W and long. Okay, these are 1 1. So you can remember that way. It's up to you how you wanted to remember or memorize these 32 keywords. But important, they must be all of them have certain meaning in for the C compiler. Now, yesterday in the morning also I have written some identifiers. As I said, they are programmer chosen names to represent parts of the program. I think variables, function, etc. comes under the identifiers. Main is a name which is standard for structure of a C program, is an identifier which will tell you it's the starting of the program. Similar to that, we are going to use some memory in the RAM, and every memory is given some name. So to refer that memory, we always refer by name. So we call this names as no identifiers. So now there are some rules for the use of identifiers. So here cannot use C keywords as identifier. This is most important. Keywords cannot be identifier. I said main was not in the list of 32 keywords. Main is an identifier, but keywords are not identified. They are having a special meaning for the C compiler. Then the rules for the identifiers is when you assign some name to the program memory, the memory should must begin with an alphabet, character, or underscore followed by the alphabet, numeric, or underscore. So these are the all possible ways. So every variable must begin with alpha, character, or underscore followed by the alpha, numeric, or underscore. It's something like when you give your password for so many accounts in the Google or any kind of accounts, it will tell you it should have at least two alphabets, it should have at least one special character, it should have at least one alpha uppercase letter, something like that. So here also in C programming, when you try to define an identifier, it should have any one of this. It can begin with alpha character or underscore or numeric or only underscore, something like that. So upper and lowercase characters are important. So when you give character, you make sure that uppercase is different, lowercase. If I'm trying to use amount with small a, amount with a capital A, both are different. They are not of same. Even though you give a memory name as a small amount with a small letter a, and by any means and by mistake you try to use a capital A for the amount in the program, it will throw an error. It will simply say that I do not know what is amount with a capital A, because you have defined the memory a name with only a small a. So they are case sensitive. That's the meaning of it. And whereas in our general thing, right, if you are getting some kind of serial number or serial name, means name in one of the events of your school level or even the intermediate level, if your teacher is forget to write the first letter of your name is the capital, you won't mind actually, because ultimately you are accepting that. So your names are case sensitive, whether with a small letter or a capital letter, your name, you are comfortable and you are able to attend them. Okay, but in the C program it is not like that. When I'm going to define a memory with some certain special characters or a small or capital, you should follow the same throughout the program. You even change even a simple letter from small to uppercase, it won't react to that. It simply say that is an error. That is the meaning of case sensitive. Then must consist of only letters, digits, or underscores. There is no special characters, no star, no dollar symbol, nothing like that. So your identifier should not have other than these three. Letters can be useful, digits can be useful, underscore can be useful. Other than these three things, you should not use any other thing. Means you cannot use curly brackets, you cannot use square brackets, you cannot use stars, you cannot use ampersand, you cannot use anything, right, other than these three. That is the meaning of it. Then then when you assign some identifier, your length of the name should not exceed 31 characters. That is more important. Even though if you write more than 31, your computer will remember only 31. That's the meaning of it. So it is called only first 31 characters are significant. Even though you give some name of the identifier more than 31 characters, it will not throw any error, but it will remember only first 31 characters. And it should not contain any spaces. Identifier should not contain any spaces. I think this last 4 points or 5 points, everybody must remember while using identifier of a C program. Keywords are different, identifiers are different. Identifiers always follow certain rules. So all those rules are mentioned in this last 5 points that you must remember. Then comes constants. So constants again are categorized into some separate sections. You can see here there could be a numeric constant or there could be a character constant. So under the numeric constant, you can have integer or you can have a fractional part. Coming to the character constant, it could be a string more than one letter, or it could be a single character constant. So we have two types of constants, numeric and character, and under that again two are there. So ultimately the bottom four is possible ways of using constants in our program. The directly usage of integers, directly usage of a floats, directly usage of a single letters, but directly usage of a more than one letter. This is the constants. Then some of the examples of constants are given here. For the integer, maybe 112, 0551, and something like that. Coming to the real constant, I said point fractional part 0.0083. Then single character within single quotes 8, within single quotes a, within single quotes I. This is called single character constant. Coming to the string constant, it has to be enclosed between double quotes. That is called more than one letter. So more than one letter, whenever you wanted to write, it should be within double quotes. These are called string constants. Now comes the most important definition called declarations. I think undertaking, right? Declaration is all about undertaking. Have you signed any undertaking so far in your education? No, where right from your schooling days to till now? Anybody from the class? Have you given any undertaking from your side? Anybody from the class?
Yes, sir.
Tell me. I guess at least you have submitted an admission form. Sorry, not admission form. MSET application form. Everybody. Without
Yes, sir.
MSET application form, you cannot join. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In that, whether it is online or offline, there is a button is there, right? I declare all the particulars entered by me are
Yes,
true.
sir.
Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You are declaring, right? Everything is correct. There is nothing like false statement which I have made. So declaration generally we call. So here the meaning of declarations are constants and variables must be declared before they can be used. Without declarations, you are not supposed to use any kind of constants or any kind of a variable in the C program. That is more important. While writing C program, I will tell you what do you mean by declaration. Then a constant declaration specifies the type. Type means four types: the name and the value of the constant. Any attempt to alter the values of a variable is acceptable, but a constant results into an error by the compiler. Constant cannot be modifiable, but attempt to alter the value of a variable is acceptable. That's the meaning of it. I'll give an example. Have you used any type of use and throw pens? Maybe 3 rupees, 5 rupees pens were there.
Yes, sir.
Have you used or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, once
sir.
refill is over, what do?
Throw away.
You'll throw away. They are constants actually. You also use some pens, no, where it's a costly pens where refills are available. Once refill is over, what do?
Again, new refill.
Yeah, that's a variable, right? So once at the time of declaring means somebody said it is a pen, that's a declaration. If somebody does not say it is a pen, we cannot use it. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
If somebody does not say it is a pen, it's something like nowadays, no, for the people or children, right? There are different shapes of the pens are coming in the market, like a fancy kind of items, no, fancy pens with a different, designs and all. Somebody says it is a pen, we cannot understand it is a pen or not. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so somebody says it's a declaring that it is a pen, then you can make use of it. That is the meaning of it. And while using also, you have two options. A refill can be inbuilt or refill can be replaceable. If refill is inbuilt, once it is over, use and throw, and the refill can be replaced, it's called variable. So same thing in a C programming also, when constants are used, it cannot be modifiable during the program execution. Variable means it can be modifiable during the program execution. That's the meaning of it. So a variable declaration specifies the type, the name, and possibly the initial value of the variable. At this point, I will tell you at the time of writing some programs. When you declare a constant or a variable, the compiler reserves a memory allocation in which to store the value of the constant or a variable, and associates the name or for the constant or a variable with the memory location. So these 3 points, try to remember. I will explain with the program. So what are the variables and say that I think I'll cover this from the next class. Variable, because if the graphics tablet is there, I can explain much more effective way. In a PPT, you may not really feel it is very interesting, but this variables and all I will start from the next class. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, with this
Okay,
I'll
sir.
stop here. Yeah, just a minute. I'll stop my screening. Then I'll take this attendance. What is today date?
17.
17. Yeah, I think I have copied all your names, and with this I'll stop here and we'll meet in the next class. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes,
Please go through it. I will forward this PPT, whatever I explained to Sai Chandra. I think he is absent today, I guess. But
Yes,
anyhow,
sir.
I will forward. Will in turn put into your group. Okay.
yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. With this I'll stop here.